we've been working on electron configurations, electron dot diagrams. But now what about the relationship between this and the periodic table? So that's our objective today. Here's a blank periodic table. Let's write our periods on the left here. So this is period 1, this is period 2, and so on, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're not going to worry about our inner transition metals today, and we are not going to worry about our transition metals either. What we are going to look at is electron configurations and the pattern on the periodic table. We start with the first atom, and this is hydrogen, and we know that that is a 1s1. And then all the way over here, helium, we know that that's 1s2. Let's go back to this part here. Now we start filling in the second energy level. That'll be a 2s1. And then we go here. This would be a 2s2. And this would be a 2p1. But remember, there's a 2s2 that came first. And then this would be 2p2, 2p3, 2p4, 2p5, and 2p6. And what I'm doing is I'm just writing the very last electron for each of these atoms. So, for instance, this atom here would actually be 1s2, 2s1. This would be 1s2, 2s2. This one here would be 1s2, 2s2, 2p1, and so forth. This would be 1s2, 2s2, 2p2, etc. I'm just writing the last one just for clarity's sake. I can't write all of that in those boxes. Then we go here. This would be 3s1, and this would be 3s2. So these are all the atoms that we've done in class so far, starting with hydrogen, going all the way through magnesium. And hopefully we're seeing a pattern here. We're going to find out that all of the s1s line up here, all of the s2s line up here, and this is known as the s block right here. And we're going to notice that all the p's line up here. If I was to continue, this would be 3p1, this would be 3p2, 3p3, 3p4, 3p5, and this would be 3p6. So notice that the horizontal row number, the period number, is what number goes in front. And again, these will all be S1s, these will all be S2s, etc. Well, please remember, like when I write 3p6, that really means 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. But really, we're interested right now in what occurs in this last row. So if I wanted to write the outer configuration only for this element here, this would be 3s2, 3p6. I just want the very last level here, the valence electrons. So it makes it a lot easier. So if I have an element down here, I wouldn't have to write out every single configuration. I could just write the very ending of it. So this element here, I know would then be a 7p3. But I would know that a 7s2 filled first. So the ending for this one actually would be 7s2, 7p3. And that's how it works. Okay, so if we were to do a dot diagram pattern, we're going to notice that all of the elements here just have one dot, because they're all S1s. The elements here would have two dots, and they would be paired. Over here, we would have two dots, and then one by itself, because there's 3 electrons total. We got the 2 here, plus the 1 here. Over here, I'm going to have 4 dots, but I pair the first 2, and then one by itself, one by itself. The next group over would be 5 dots, so 2 dots, one by itself, one by itself, one by itself. Over here, we're going to have 6 dots, 2 together, 2 together, one by itself, one by itself. Over here, 5 dots, 2 together, 2 together, 2 together, one by itself. And this last row here, with the exception of our helium, helium's only got 2, these would all have 8 dots. So 2 dots, 2 dots, 2 dots, and 2 dots. So this element here would be easy to figure out. I'm just going to call it element E. it's in this row here, so I know its dot pattern would be 2 dots, 1 dot, 1 dot, and 1 dot. And notice how 2 plus the 3 here equals 5, and there's 5 dots. We always pair the first two. There they are, and then by itself, by itself, by itself. And then once you get greater than 3 in the here, then you start pairing them. So that's how we use the periodic table, okay, to do this. It's not too bad at all. So what I have for you is a practice here. I'd like you to try all of these elements here. Well, let's do the first one together, just so it make sure you got the pattern of this. And I want you to pause the video, and then we will reveal answers a little later. So let's see, the first one's calcium. So go to the periodic table, and we look at the periodic table and see what we got. Calcium is located here. It's in the 4th period. And there's where calcium is. It's in the S2 block. So I know that that has 2 dots on it. So we're in the 4th level here. So the answer for this would be 4S2. And then we'll have 2 dots. Okay, so please pause the video now and try all of the rest of those. And then in the end, turn the video back on, and there will be all the answers that you can have. Okay, here's all the answers. Hopefully you did well. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.